Okay, let's get started with our warm-up. Jumping jacks. And Mr. Red, I know I talked to you last night about my comments about the music, but I'm not sure you would all like my music anyway. Shane Burke would hate it. And for the couple minutes that it's on at the beginning, I'm not sure it's worth it. So I guess I'll just keep talking to you, and you're gonna have to listen to my voice. Okay, so some punches, keep your feet up, keep your hands moving. And run in place. Start up, knees up. And knees out. Down for push-ups. Make sure, whether you're on your knees or your toes, that your back is straight, your head is up, and your elbows are tucked close into your sides, so that the crease on the front of your elbow is facing the center at the front of the room. And back up, and touch, and up. And down for sit-ups. First set, just hands here, regular sit-ups. And up, and we start again. Back to running in place. This time, heels up in the back. And then feet front and back. And they're just and punches. And jumping jacks. Changing the cross jacks. Down for push-ups. Back up. And up and touch. back down. This set of sit-ups is going to be different. You don't quite let your shoulder blades touch the floor. Come up halfway, touch the opposite foot. Don't come all the way up. That is too easy. That takes the work out of it. And time. Okay, one bonus move for you. This one is a challenge. I'm gonna roll my mat up because I have to do this knuckles, and my knuckles don't like doing this on the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. I have my knuckles down. You can do this on your hands if you can put your hands down, but if you're doing it on your hands, your fingers should be facing this way, towards your toes. So I'm gonna come here to tabletop, and I'm gonna keep my feet where they are. I'm going to push my hips back so that my butt's off the floor. So up and down. And up. And we're going to stretch. Arms over and under. Okay, pull one across. Keep your shoulder down, not way up here, but way down. Push it back so that your palm is between your shoulder blades. Pull the other one across. Push it back. Then put your hands behind you. Lace your fingers. Keep your chin up. Lean forward. Pull your arms over your head. If you can, here, turn them over. Push the palms of your hands down so that my hands are going from palms ceiling to palms toward the floor. And then lean over and pull them over again. Make sure you keep your chin up when you lean over. Have a seat. Tuck one foot, other one is sticking out. The goal here is to keep your both butt cheeks on the floor. So I'm going to reach out, chest towards the knee of the extended leg. And put your hands outside the bent knee, keep your butt on the floor, and rotate, turn your chest towards the backhand. Other side, switch your feet. Reach out over the extended leg, keep your chin up. And then hands on the floor, rotate your chest toward the backhand. Spread your feet out. Over to one side. Keep your butt on the floor. Other side. And down to the center. Keep your chin up. Keep your toes up. Reach your elbows toward the floor. Okay, pull your feet in. Put the bottoms of your feet together. If you're going to grab your feet, don't grab your toes. That stresses your ankles. If you're going to grab your feet, grab above your ankles. I actually put my hands on the floor behind me because that lets me push my chest forward, which is how you want to be, and push my knees down. And up. Okay, here we are, week 14B. This is the end of the second week, end of the third week of this cycle. So this week we're putting we finished putting everything together. Next week is stripe test. So Monday's class I will review. So if you have questions about anything that you want to review, send me a message by oh, never mind. I'm going to be making Monday's video before you see this one. So I will try to touch on everything. If you have a question about anything specific, send me a message. Do not tag me in the Facebook post. It doesn't show. So there's a good chance you're not going to get credit for the class. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Either your picture or your video to get credit for the class, or, I forgot to start the clock, or questions if you have them. And I will answer you either with words or video. But it needs to go on Facebook Messenger. Tagging underneath doesn't, most of the time it doesn't get to me. Okay, so we're gonna start in a horse stance. So right now, your target's in front of you. So my toes are, ideally I'm toed in a little bit. If I get back here, can you see my toes? I can't do the whole thing back here because then you can't see what I'm doing at all. But I wanna be toed in and knees out. So I'm gonna start up here, toes in, knees out. I'm gonna do with the hand on this side, low block, high block. Then I'm gonna turn this foot, throw a side kick, come back to the same stance. And then the other side, low block, high block, turn the standing foot, side kick. That's 1. 2. 3. Make sure that when you do the blocks, your toes are in, your knees are out, your butt is tucked. None of this. Keep your butt tucked. 4. 5. 6. Okay, if you're here, if you're finding that your horse stance is kind of relaxing, make it lower. Okay, horse stance should, not necessarily if you're using it, but if you're practicing, it should stress your quads. That's the only way you're going to get any stronger. I think that's 6. I lost track. That's what happens when I talk to you. So we're going to do a few more. The goal would be to do 10. I have no idea where I am. See, I get distracted really easily. Maybe that's 7. That might be 8. That might be 9. I don't know. Do a couple more. Do them until your quads are sore. If quads aren't sore, bend your knees more. Okay, next one. This is kind of, the move is from, well, it's not really, it's from lots of places. But I want you to do is I want you to start here in shingle chassis. I don't care what your hands are doing. You're gonna rotate your hips away, low block. Rotate your hips away, punch. Rotate your hips away, low block. Rotate them away, chop. Rotate them in, low block. This is gonna be with the same hand, rotate, high block. So you gotta, what's coming from the backhand depends on which way, which hip the second technique is coming from, depends on which way you need to be rotated. So we're gonna do low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. So that's 2. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. 3. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. 4 maybe? Like I said, I'm easily distracted. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. And then switch sides. Same thing. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block, low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. The important thing here is to think about your hips because the power comes from rotation. So here, it's a front hand, I rotate my hips away, I block, I rotate them away a little bit so the back hand can punch. Rotate away, low block, rotate away, backhand, chops. Rotate away, low block. The high block here wouldn't work because I'd be stepping into it. So I bring it from my front hand, so as my hips come away, I block. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. Okay, then I want you to put them into steps. So we're gonna go low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block, low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. Now we're gonna go back. Low block, punch, low block, chop, low block, high block. Okay, so go back and forth a couple of times. I'm gonna end up in the dining room if I do many more of those, but do them till you can do them without thinking about them. Because what tends to happen when you're doing this is you do the first couple and you're going slow and you're going, okay, low, lock, turn my hips away, punch. But as soon as you put the feet in, you're losing the turn your hips away. So do a bunch, back and forth. Okay. Then, it's some of the blocks that we do in Basadai. So I'm going to start here. These blocks are, is that what I wanted? Or did I? Okay, so my target's in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to punch, chamber, block. Now the leg that's up is going to do a front kick. And it's going to land here, so I'm a quarter of a turn away. And then I'm going to do the same hand, punch, chamber, block. The leg that's got less weight on it, the back leg of the closed knee is going to do a front kick, and it's going to land here. Same hand again, punch, chamber, block, front kick, land, punch, chamber, block, front kick, land. So I'm back to the front of the room now. And now I'm going to go in the other direction. Punch, chamber, block, front kick, land, punch, chamber, block, front kick, land, punch, chamber, block, front kick, land, punch, chamber, block, front kick, land. And you're like, why is she making us do this? It's not part of the form. That's okay. Forms are stylized ways to practice moves. I'm just giving you another stylized way to practice moves. You got to be able to do this without thinking about it. You got to be able to do a front kick. You got to be able to do a front kick and maybe put your foot down someplace else if where you wanted to put it now isn't stable anymore or there's a body there. Okay? So do a couple circles in each direction and then come back to me. Okay, then the next technique we're going to do is, that one was from the gut curriculum. This one, the technique is in the Chuck Norris form. So what I'm doing is, I'm actually the attacker here. So you're going to assume that there's already been a couple of moves going on because I'm not just going to attack some random person. Okay, but they attacked, I defended, so now I become the attacker to defend myself so I can finish getting away. I'm going to step behind, back fist to their temple. They're going to lean forward or lean. I'm going to step back, punch them right in the throat. Okay, so back fist to the temple, punch in the throat. Back fist to the temple, punch in the throat. Do it on the other side. Back fist to the temple, punch in the throat. Back fist to the temple, punch in the throat. And then I want you to do it. Well, we'll do a circle. So we'll start here, and I'm going to go that way first. Back fist punch. Then I'm going to go the other way. Back fist punch. I'm going to keep turning in that direction. Back fist punch. Back fist punch. Then I'm going to go the other way. Back fist punch. Back fist punch. Back fist punch. Back fist punch. Okay, then find somebody in your house and have them move around the room and call to you from different directions. So I'll be here, okay? Maybe the person is calling to me from that corner. So I'm going to turn towards them, back fist punch. And then I can come back to here. Now they're directly in front of me, back fist punch. And I come back to here. And now they're off to that side, back fist punch. Okay, so if you can't get somebody to help you, bribe them with something, offer to make them brownies later, I don't know. Or pick directions on the clock yourself, but do at least 10 different directions or so. Okay, then we're going to do some kicks. You guys all know roundhouse kick. That's okay. You can always make your roundhouse kick better. So to start off, get your chair. My chair's here. my standing foot is facing that way. When I do my chamber, okay, I'm not leaning this way or that way. If I have any lean, it's towards the direction of my standing toe. So I'm gonna pick this knee up. Use the chair for this because I want you to focus on the technique. Okay, my knee and my ankle are at the same height. They're at the same height as my hip. My knee is facing the target. My hip is facing the target. My chest is 90 degrees off. So kick, in, down. So knee up, kick, in, down. Up, kick, in, down. Up, kick, in, down. And again, up, kick, in, down. Then the other side. We'll put the chair away in a minute, but right now I want you to focus on those pieces. So chamber, make sure that your knee and your ankle, your hip are all the same height. Knees facing the target, kick, in, down. Standing toes facing away. Up, kick, in, down. Up, kick, in, down. Up, kick, in, down. Up, kick, in, down. I think that's 5 on each side. It might not be, I don't know, do 5 on each side. Do 5 more on each side. Not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, then we're gonna change this to a rear leg roundhouse kick. So if you were a little dragon, or if your kid was a little dragon, or if your kid is a little dragon now and you're taking these classes because you were listening to my public service announcement and you're starting to take class, when we do this, we're gonna do this as if we were dragons. You gotta turn your standing foot, okay? I'm gonna angle the camera down a minute so you can see my feet. Okay, so if I'm here, out in my guard stance, if I throw my roundhouse kick like this, now my hip rotates. My foot does not rotate. My knee gets caught in the middle and it gets broken. Plus, I'm off balance here and there's not much power. So what you need to do is you need to turn this foot. And as I throw the kick, so I turn the foot, I turn it, I can get it about halfway. So then as I kick, I chamber, I rotate. So now the toes are facing the other direction. So when you see the little kids do this, I actually do this with the older kids sometimes too, just to remind them. And I say, turn the foot, roundhouse kick. So I'm here, I'm in my guard stance, turn your foot, roundhouse kick. 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 And turn face the back. Turn your foot, roundhouse kick. 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 Okay, so now you should do a bunch of these. Do them, like my downstairs is open all the way around, so I can go from the kitchen to the TV room, to the bike room, to the dining room, I can go around. Go around, do that. Go out in your yard, go up the yard and down the yard, or up and down your street if your neighbors won't run you over with the car while you're doing it. But do a bunch of those, and then come back to me, and we're gonna do pop-up roundhouse kicks. Now, pop-up roundhouse kick, like when you do a back leg roundhouse kick, you have to get your hips turned in the other direction. So I'm not just kicking here, but I'm kicking off my back leg. So when I did my roundhouse kick, my hips are facing 90 degrees away from my target. My kicking leg is facing the target. When I did my rear leg kick, I had to turn my body so that my hips were the other way. Same thing now when you do your pop-up kicks. I want you to start in your guard stance, and every time I count, you're just gonna turn. Switch your hips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now ideally when you do these, you pull your knees way up. So you would be going 1, 2. My knees don't like that landing. If yours do a few more of those. Otherwise, you're gonna do this the way that I do. Okay, so now I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna jump up, and I'm gonna do back leg roundhouse kick. My hips are gonna be facing that way when I kick, and I'm gonna land in the opposite stance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay, if you don't feel like you got that, do a few more. Then we're gonna go on to a kick that's from the black belt form. Okay, we worked on this kick last cycle. We've worked on it some this cycle. I'm not breaking it down much today because this is out of the black belt curriculum. If you want the breakdowns, go back, check last month. So I'm doing a tornado kick, which is a back leg crescent kick, spin, pump, crescent kick. Except, like in Action Karate Form 4, where your kick catches your hand. So I'm gonna go kick, spin, pump kick. Kick, spin, pump kick. Okay, if you can't get your foot here, don't do this. Don't lean. Bring your hand down lower. So if your kick is lower, kick, spin, pump kick. Or conversely, okay, I'm still gonna grab the guy's head because the next move is gonna be elbow to his head, but I'm gonna kick his knee. So I got the head, or I'm gonna kick the knee, spin, grab the head, kick the knee, elbow. And so make it work. Not everybody's gonna be able to get their hand up here. So the goal, I'm gonna throw the elbow away just because it makes sense here. The goal is kick, spin, kick, elbow. Or kick, spin, kick, elbow. In order for working on excellence. So if you're leaning forward or back in your kick, it's not excellent. The excellence comes from doing it correctly. Your back needs to be straight. If your body's not lined, you have no balance, you have no power. So practice those, do 10. I'd like you to do them on both sides, but there aren't any in the form on the other side, so I'm not gonna stress too much if you only do that first set. Okay, so now, forms that you're gonna be responsible for next week at Stripe Test. I do them once with the words and explanations of what we're doing, and then I'll do it once at speed. So, first half of basic form 1, look, chamber, step, block, step and punch. Look, chamber, step, block, step and punch. Look, chamber, step, block, step and punch 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Because if you've been taking class with me, we haven't added the next move in yet, but we've done 1,000,000 3/4 turns. So you're gonna put your 3/4 turn in here. Look, chamber, step, block. Okay, so let's come back to the beginning. First half of basic form 1 plus the 3/4 turn. Okay, and I'll do it once facing the other way too. Sometimes I have a hard time learning forms. If I'm watching somebody facing me, I have to be able to stand behind them and do them. So I'll face the other direction so that you can see where we're going. So first half of basic form 1. Okay, so white belts, that's what you guys are responsible for next week for Stripe Test. Beginners, first half of Chilsung Il Row. And again, if you've been taking class from me, we haven't added the 3/4 turn to this, but we've done tons of 3/4 turns. So I want you to at least try to put it in there. So first half of Chilsung Il Row. Oh, sorry. Look, chamber, step, block, high block, chamber, strike the neck. Grab the guy's head, pull it in, slam your knee through his face, keep him at distance, punch, punch. Look, chamber, step, block, high block, chamber, your hips are rotated away, rotate in, chop, grab the head, slam your knee through the face, hold him at distance, punch, punch. Look to the front, chamber, step, reinforce block. Only for the first one, hands come to cup and saucer on your hip, step through, punch, 2, 3. This 3/4 turn, hands make a diamond on your hip. Step in, step straight back, cat stance and center block. Okay, so I will do that again. I'll do it at speed and then I'll do it facing the other direction. Okay, and then the other way if you want to follow along from behind. Am I in the video? Okay, so beginners, you guys are responsible for that. First half of Chilsling Ilro. Basadai. We're going to do through the pullback. If you've seen, I don't know, I know I'm going to definitely go that far right now. If you took class with me last night, in the parking lot, we went that far. Well, actually, it wasn't like, well, it's last night from when I'm making this, but this, you won't see this till Thursday, so it's a couple of days. But if you haven't been this far, I'm not really worried about it. If you stripe testing with me, I'd rather you see you competently do the blocks that I've taught you than muddle your way through the more of the dance and not be able to do what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're not going to do the salutation. We're just going to start here. Look, step to the horse stance, out block, second out block and close kneel. Tuck your right hand, chamber the left one, right foot index is in, come out to Chingle Chassi. In block, in block. Somebody's trying to kick your right leg. You get it out of the way. You block. You turn towards the side in a horse stance, in block, chamber, left hand out block on your close kneel. Put your hands cup and saucer on your left hip. Jump to the front. Motion defense. I'm in a horse stance now. Punch. No, sorry, that's a spear. Punch, chamber, block. I'm in a close kneel here. Punch, chamber, block. There's only one spear, so it's not symmetric. Then I'm going to do 3 piang blocks. 1, 2, 3. Third one. Grab here. Step back, pull away. Okay, one more time at speed. So from here, okay, so Basadai. I'd like to see that much. If you haven't been that far, practice it. You got from Thursday until strike test next week to get that. If you have questions, send me a message. And then Chuck Norris short form. Some of you guys have been this far, some of you guys have not. I'd like you to work on this, but if you haven't had it broken down yet, don't worry too much about it. First time, we'll do all the words. So, tagger's coming from the left. I'm going to step back to a rear leaning stance, low block, rotate on my back heel, so my right heel, center punch. Rotate back to that rear leaning stance, center block, come to a, they call this a fighting stance, I would call it a close kneel. So I'm bending, again, I'm going to turn the camera down again for a minute so you can see my feet, so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going rear leaning stance, Chingle Chassi, rear leaning stance, close kneel. Okay, the guy who does this calls it a fighting stance, but my fighting stance would be much shorter. So I'm calling this a close kneel. Think about Jinte that we did a couple of cycles ago. Okay, so low block from a rear leaning stance. Chingle Chassi punch. Center block rear leaning stance. Spear in a close kneel. Front kick. That foot lands. The other foot tucks behind to Basai Chassi back fist. Step back out to Chingle Chassi punch. Punch high. So nose your throat. Punch center again. Attacker comes from the other direction. So my left leg now steps across. Rear leaning stance. Low block, Chingle Chassi punch. Rear leaning stance, center block, close kneel punch. Front kick, back fist, punch, punch high, punch center. Drag. So somebody's coming at me with a knee. Block the knee. They come forward, they choke me. I'm gonna bring my feet next to each other. Bring my hands up through the center, break the choke. I grab this hand, I pull it back. I push their shoulder or their head down with this hand. I hammer. Come back up. Center block, punch, and then the tornado kick that we just practiced. Kick, punch, elbow, or sorry, foot, elbow. And then we go back to the beginning. Sorry about that. I'm still learning this form too. Okay, so if you have questions, send me questions. Then get your weapons. Beginners, single chuck. Start here, block to your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. Bring it back here. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that wasn't right. Come back here. Block. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. Okay, beginners, you're gonna keep doing that. The rest of you guys, get your other chuck. You're gonna start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. Then we're gonna change the next one up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm gonna do my figure eights all in the same direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. Okay, so beginners, green belts, 3-stripe brown belts. You guys are gonna keep practicing your chucks. The rest of you guys are gonna go get your boken. We're gonna do the beginning of the form. So, business side up. Sword on your left hip, sharp side up. Hands here as if it was your scabbard. So you start on your knees. Hand up. Bring it down. Grab. We talked about this. Your thumb needs to be on the bottom. You're going to come up. You're going to pick your right knee up and cut across. Somebody coming straight at you. Somebody's running at you. Okay, so make sure that the business side of the blade cuts. Now I'm going to come forward so I'm going to hit the television when I do the next thing. Now, somebody's coming at me from that side. So you bring the sword up and block. And then I'm going to rotate my hips toward them and cut down. So the block needs to be here. If it's out here, it's not covering my head. If it's down here, it's not covering my head. If it's this way, it's gonna, their sword's gonna slide down and cut my fingers off. So it's gonna be here, and then I rotate my hips and cut. We practiced this cut. I practiced this cut with you guys. Elbows stop here. It doesn't come way down. It's getting caught in somebody right here. So we start down. Here, first attacker comes straight at you. Cut. Move forward so you don't cut the television. Look, that attacker's coming. I bring the sword up and block as I stand. Then that block, I'm in shingle chassis facing the front of the room still. My hips are facing the front of the room. And then I rotate and I cut down. So I want you guys to practice that. You go, but we want more of the form. I don't care if you want more of the form. It's just short. It's like 12 counts. I want you to be able to know what you're doing with the sword and not get your fingers cut off. Okay, if you have kids who take ProTech or who took ProTech when they were still in the kids class, ask them about first aid for cut off fingers because they should all know this. I talked to them about it. Okay, so now, black belts. The short Chuck Norris form is the Don form. First, second, third, fourth degree black belts this summer. The long Chuck Norris form is the black belt theme for last cycle and this cycle. So that's all the black belts, the Dans and the AK black belt. So if you're an AK black belt, you're responsible for knowing all the weapons that we did with the GUPs. You learned those when you were GUP. But this is your theme for the cycle. So we're going to do the first part of the Chuck Norris form. We've done this as self-defenses the last couple weeks. We're just going to put the first part together right now. So somebody's coming from that way. Center block, punch, step together, side, hold them at distance, side kick, uppercut, step forward, push punch, other direction. So just like in the short Chuck Norris form, my left foot's going to go out to this corner, center block, punch, feet come together, hold them at distance, side kick, uppercut, step forward, push punch. Okay. I am not indexing here. I'm just taking this foot and turning the direction. So I'm here, I'm going to turn to the back, low block, punch. I'm taking a step, but it's just a shuffle step. So I'm going to end up in the same stance, push, punch, front kick, center block, punch, front kick, high block punch, side kick, back fist punch. Okay, so some of you guys know more than that. I did the whole form in pop-up videos last cycle. Go back and check those. If you have questions, send me a message. Remember, send them to me as Facebook Messenger messages. Don't just tag me under the video. Talk to you guys later.